I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Tuesdays are my request evening. Thursdays are stories I like to bring to you. I'm sorry, I'm faffing, I'm all hot. But yeah, if you'd like to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/JessRose5472. But my format is I have a quick chat with the guys in the live. Still got my earpiece in. Have a quick chat with the guys in the live. Then I get on with the story. I don't interrupt it. I don't faff back and forth. And then I have a quick chat with the guys at the end. But yes, so in case you're thinking I'm going to back and forth during the live, that's not what I do. But I'm just going to wait and see who's going to join us this evening. And then I'm going to start. But yes, let me just see. I'm sure I've seen someone there. Hey, sis. How you doing? How's it going? Can you see Mick? Hey, Hayley. How are you? Can you believe it's Thursday again? How quick do these 2 days go? They just go so quick. I'm so hot. I had to straighten my fringe just beforehand, so I'm so hot. Hey, Phil. How's it going? How are ya? Thursday again. Here we are. They're going too quick, Hayley. In a month's time, Christmas, we're going to be in that limbo week of Christmas in a month's time. It's scary. I'm not anywhere near ready either. I had my decks up for nearly a month, but I'm not even halfway through. It's terrible. But how are we all? Do you know what I did the other night as well? Do you remember it says, oh yeah, here she comes. 3 Mondays till Christmas, aren't you? Great. Don't remind me of that. Don't tell me that. It was bad enough knowing that there was less than a month to go. Stop that now. I don't know what he's got. I made the mistake of washing my hair on the day of a live. And now all the bits are coming out and everything else. It's just going to have to do. I look like I've been in a wind tunnel. What was I going to say? Yes, you know, the other night on the live, and I says, I'm going to thank you. How about you? I'm good, thank you. Yeah, we're all good here, Phil. Yeah, I'd done the screen record, like I said, but there was no sound. I think I know what I did. I think I know what I did, so I'm going to try again this evening. But yeah, in case you hadn't noticed the other night, it went up. I had to take it down, redo it again, and put it back up again. It's a whole palaver. I still haven't had any different comments in there yet, but I'm thinking if the people in the other side don't know I've been doing lives, as far as they're concerned, I've been gone for over 2 years, so maybe that could be why I've had no, I don't know what's happening now. I've had no comments, I'm not too sure. Hey Warwick, how's it going? I don't know what's happening here. How are you? I don't know it's all gone horribly wrong here. But yes, so it all went bad the other night, so I'm going to try again this evening, see if I can get it down this evening. So, like I mentioned the other day, I'll have a chat with you, and then I'm going to do a whole intro again. Well, only a little one, only a little teeny one, and then start the story. But yeah, how are we all? Anyone got any good plans for the weekend? Anyone want to make me jealous? I've got nothing planned myself, so anyone got anything? Anyone got anything planned? Because it's freezing. I think I may try and go outside and have a game of pool tomorrow. Still getting away with it because we've got a heater. But even the heater's battling at the minute. It's struggling. It's struggling with the cold. But I might try that. Yes, you are. Are you going to tell? Are you going to say why? Are you going to say why? I didn't want to mention. So, it's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. You can say it's your birthday. Oh, but they'll know. So, you might as well now. You might as well now, because they're all going to be like, what you talking about? What's you on about? Sometimes I forget I'm not just having a private conversation with individuals. Ah, right, okay. So I'd like to say that today is my lovely sister and moderator extraordinaire, Tiffany's. Hayley, no, no, you just ruined it. You just. That was the most childish strap I think I've ever thrown. Yes, it's her anniversary. I was giving you a whole intro then, Tiffany. I was giving you a whole lead up to it, and she just comes drumming, just gunning in. But yes, it's Tiffany's moderator extraordinaire's 9th wedding anniversary today. So we can all wish a happy wedding anniversary today. Because I think actual anniversaries, it's like 53 years or something. But yes, we have 9 years happily married. I can't believe it's been 9 years, by the way. Looking at the photos today, it's like, oh my God. And also, why didn't anyone tell me about that tan? I know I chose it. I know I asked for that tan. But yeah, I was mortified today. But yes, she looked absolutely beautiful. She looked like a little doll. She looked like a little child bride, to be honest. Should I? She wasn't a child. She's very youthful. Is Tiffany? No, you're a YouTube hubby, Warwick. It's a whole different thing. It's a different law. It's a whole different. Like I'm the adjudicator. That's not the right word, is it? I'm the officiant of the YouTube one, and that can't be divorced until I say it is. So no, that doesn't mean you're divorced. I know, I'm sorry, Tiffany, I'm so sorry. I don't know what made me say that. I know, I'm gonna stop. I don't know what made me say that. She's very young looking, is Tiffany. She's not. She was very legal. Oh God. I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm just making it worse. Yes, they are. Yeah, no, she was above age. She was beyond above age. Okay, as Hayley said, I'm just gonna stop talking now because I'm just making things. Anyway, happy anniversary. I'm going to stop talking now. Oh dear. I can't help myself sometimes. It's not deliberate. Was you really? Was you that? Was you? Well, of course you would have been, yes. Is she an amateur, Warwick? Is she early in the game? She's a bit early in the game. Oh, I didn't know you. Oh, okay. You look about 10. And honestly, she wasn't. She just said she wasn't 10. Hayley, come on, help me out. She did. I know you wasn't there, but you've seen the pictures, for goodness sake. She looks, I was about to say childlike again. Okay, I'm stopping it now. I'm stopping because I'm just digging myself a hole. It's just terrible. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. It's all, yeah. It all went horribly wrong there. But, okay, so yes, we know what Tiffany's doing. 17 years, yes, she has. So what I was saying, they've been together a very long time. Hi, Jessica. How are you? For God's sake. I don't know what happened, Tiffany. I don't know what this is. I don't know what's going on here. My hair is desperate. I'm desperately wanting it cut for Christmas. Tell Santa to get me a haircut for Christmas, will you? And some colour, because this is a blonde, by the way. There's a lot of grey going through here. It's very attractive. Who? Are you on? Why, Warwick? And yes, she does. Oh, God. I'm not getting involved. I'm not coming down to the level today. But yeah, she kind of does. But how are we, Jessica? Are you okay? So Jess wants to stay locked up. We could go out on the town while he's in. We can bail him on the Monday. Oh, it's just terrible, isn't it? Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I was just asking what everyone's up to at the weekend, Jessica. It's Tiffany's anniversary today. So we're just giving her a bit of stick. But yes, it's her wedding anniversary today. So she's out on the town at the weekend, which I'm very jealous of. So you're going to have 2 or 3 or 6 for me, which I'd appreciate. Maybe 8. 8's a good number. Have 9 for your anniversary. Have 9 for me. That's always good. And considering Tiffany's a lightweight, that would be a messy night for Stephen. My God. But yeah, on that night, because of course I was behind again, as I always am. I'll be late for everything, I will, honestly. I was about to say late for my own funeral, but probably not the best on here. So yes, late for everything. I forget this mic picks up everything, doesn't it? So I can't even mutter. Right. So I'm doing the story. I wonder where Claire is, because she was asking for this, wasn't she? Well, no, I'll take that back. She wasn't asking for this. She was asking what story we were doing. We were talking about it the other night, weren't we? So I was loitering, but we've been on for ages and ages. So I'm going to... Is he innuendoing again? Because I said 9 for me. So I don't know. It's on my mind. I think it's my mind. I'm getting out of the car. See, I could never be in the comments. I'd be a nightmare. Hi, Jerome. How are you? Yes, I only saw your comment literally just before I was going to come live. I do apologise. And yes, you are right about the name. You are about the meaning of it. So yes, you are right. But yeah, I'm going to start. If yous are all ready. Right, okay. As before, as I stated, everyone stay where you are. I'm going to do a very little intro again. I'm going to try and I'm going to try and stay focused. I've got to take the comments off. That was it as well, because I was screenshotting. All the comments were on there. All the comments were going up on the other pre-recorded ones as well. It all went horribly wrong the other night. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna do the screen record. When you hear me go, good evening, Megan. When you hear that, I don't know what that was. I'm gonna knock the comments off, so I won't be able to see the comments, because otherwise everyone's gonna see the comments on the pre-recorded one, if you get what I mean. So I'm going to take them off, and then I'll bring them back on at the end, okay? They knocked themselves off the other night. I don't know, they come back, they pick and choose when they want me to, when YouTube wants me to see my comments. So, okay, right, are we ready? Okay, I'll let you all get on with what you're getting on with, and I'm going to start. So I'm going to knock the comments off. Okay, right, comments hidden. I'm going to, okay, bear with me. I'm going to screen record. Media mic. Okay. Oh, it won't let me. It won't let me because the mic's on. Right, I'm going to take the mic out for us. But the sound's crap without the mic. Oh, I don't know if you can see me or hear me. I don't know. I can't see yous now because I've got something in front of me. Oh, I don't know what to do. Do I just take the mic out? But the sound's so much better. I'm just going to have to be loud. Right. Mic's out. I can't even ask you if you can still hear me. I might just leave the mic up there so it looks like I've got it on. There we go. We'll leave the mic there. Okay? Right. Okay. We're going to start now. What do you mean the microphone's in use? Microphone ain't the microphone's not in use. It's not even plugged in. I unplugged it. Oh, come on. Microphone use, change sound setting, or stop using the mic's not in. Stop it now. What the hell is going on? Right, hang on. I'm back again. Right, I'm sorry, guys. Just one more second. Sorry, guys. I am going to start in a second. Can someone please tell Phil what I'm doing? This is terrible. Microphone in use? Why is it in use? It's not in use. It's not even in. Oh, I'm going to put it back in. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it all. Forget it. I'm plugging the mic back in. I'm back on. I'm just after record it afterwards. Forget it. I'm bringing the chat back up. Forget it. Forget it. Right. Okay. Forget it. I'm back. Okay. I'm going to start. But I am going to do an intro. I am still going to do the intro, so I'll know where to start. Okay. Can you do it and send it to me? Can you do it? Oh, that'd help. That'd be good. Oh, I'd appreciate that. Can you still talk on it, though? You can't. You can't, because you can't talk on it because it'll see your comments. That's why I had to take the comments off. Unless you use another device. Tell me before I start. You donut. Terrible. It was in. That was the worst part. I mean, it wasn't in, actually. It was out. And it still wasn't working. Right, okay, forget it. It was 17 minutes in. And I haven't even started. Right, okay. Right, guys. I'm going to start. Okay, let's get ready. Let's get ready. Don't forget, this part now is what the other side's going to say. So, right, okay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, True Crime with Jess Rose. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Breathing at 8 p.m. Oh, God. Let me start again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is terrible. Use on my YouTube watchers as well. And I'm like, it's like I'm not doing it. Look, I'm doing it for other people who aren't YouTube. Oh, my God. It's just terrible, isn't it? Right, okay. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, thank you. Thank you, sis. Right, we're going to go. We're going to go. We ready? 1, 2, 3. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, True Crime with Jess Rose. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Tuesdays are my request evening. Thursdays are stories I like to bring to you. I do record my stories live. If you'd like to join us live on a Tuesday and Thursday. I've lost it. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, if you'd like to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/JessRose5472. Okay, and I'm going to start the story. Okay, so the unsettling story of Pazuzu Algarad. Okay, so you might be wondering about the name Pazuzu. It will make sense shortly. Okay, so John Alexander Lawson, that's who we're going to start with, okay? Born on the 12th of August 1978 in San Francisco, California, is a US story. His mum's Cynthia. Not a lot about his dad, so I'm not going to bring in his dad about the story, related to the story, sorry. Now, John, or Johnny, as he was known, he appeared to have a normal life with his parents. Blonde hair, blue-eyed, very cute kid. The reason I don't normally do descriptions of people when I'm, talking about them as children. I don't normally do that. But if you know this story, you might have only seen pictures of him as an adult. Okay. So when I am done the story, if you want to go and have a look at him, you're going to see exactly what I'm describing in this story. But stay with me, and then you go away and have a look then. Okay. Now, like I say, very, very cute looking child. Seemed to be quite a normal upbringing. Now, his parents divorced when he was 8. From then on, he didn't really see much of his dad, it said. He saw him intermittently over the next couple of years, but as he hit his teenage years, he actually refused to see his dad after that. So that's why I'm not really mentioning his dad too much in this story, okay? Him and his mum, Cynthia, they moved to a town called Clemens. Now, Clemens is just outside North Carolina, by a place called Winston-Salem, okay? It's a very conservative, very religious town, okay? Like, you could call it an all-American town, let's say. 84% of the population there are married with children. So, like I say, very, very conservative town they were living in there. They'd moved to. And when you see the pictures of it and when you hear about it, it does sound like the type of place that you think would be ideal to bring up children. It genuinely does. It looks beautiful. Crime's quite low there. You know, it just seems a really nice town. Now, like I say, when Johnny was very young, he was normal. He was a happy, fun-loving child. Really, really cute. You see him with like a little cowboy hat in photos. He just... When I say this kid was cute, he was really quite cute. He genuinely was. But after the divorce of his parents, he began to change. Okay. Now, I will put in my own opinion of this later on in the story, but for now I'm just gonna tell you as it is. Like I say, after the divorce, things began to change. His mum, she'd start going out, partying and drinking, and she'd begin bringing a stream of men home to this little lad who's an only child. He's only known his parents, from what I can gather. And all of a sudden, he's been thrust into the middle of a divorced parents. His dad really doesn't see him a lot. And his mum's bringing in, like I say, a steady stream of men. I don't know if they're one-night stands or very short-lived relationships, but it said there was quite a few, all right? Now, from then on, a change had started happening with Johnny, okay? He started being called weird at school. He was standing out from his school friends. He'd run around with like a black cape on, and he'd become sort of fascinated with horror films now. He's the same age as me, so it's all the Freddy's, which is the Friday the 13th films. Sorry, no, it's not. It's the Nightmare on Elm Street films, Jason, the Friday the 13th films, Halloween, all those sort of horror films that were huge in the 80s, and he became fascinated with those. He was getting babysat a lot, so he'd be able to watch these sort of films. He was very young to be watching those sort of films, although I think a lot of us did in that time frame. But he became fascinated with vampires as well. They were his major thing, hence the cloak, and he'd put like fake teeth in, and that was his whole stick, really. Now, as he was becoming a teenager, hitting about 13, he started to become quite disturbed now, okay? He began hitting his own mum, hurting animals, We all know that's not a good sign of things to come. That's really not a good sign of where things are going to go. Now, his mum did take him to a visit at a mental facility. She did. But years later, she said that she couldn't keep up with treatment because she couldn't afford it. That was her reasoning. She couldn't afford to keep up with treatment for him. So he was bullied. He was called Turd Boy. He was like, no, I shouldn't be pulling these faces. I shouldn't be feeling bad. I'm feeling bad for that little lad that you see in the photos. That's who I'm feeling bad for. Okay. You're gonna see why I shouldn't feel that way, but that's who I'm feeling bad for. Yeah, he was just in the town where they lived. Remember, I said all American town. Most of the families are married. Most of their parents are married. He was sticking out like a sore thumb. Like I say, he'd begun to get bullied at school, and he started obviously rebelling against that. And certainly with the beginning to hurt animals, it was going somewhere not good. It was never going to end up good. Okay. Now, Johnny's mum actually remarried when he was around 18. And at this point, he wasn't even bathing. He wasn't even washing at this point. He was just kind of becoming quite like disgusting, you could say. Now, Johnny and the mum's new husband would have these all-out screaming matches. He didn't like him at all. We know that he'd already been quite violent with his own mum, so he had no respect for her either. And he dropped out of high school. At 18, he was actually redoing his freshman year. Freshman year should be about 14, 15. He was redoing that because he just really wasn't concentrating. He was really off the rails. Round it up to that, he was very, very, very off the rails. Okay. Now, we do know he'd actually started dabbling in drugs at this point as well. He'd started dabbling in alcohol. Now, going into his early 20s, he and his mum and her husband were now having violent fights, actual physical violent fights. And he demanded that Cynthia, his mum, throw her husband out. He demanded that now, okay? Now, she actually threw Johnny out instead. She threw her own son out instead. He was being completely unreasonable. He was violent. And she threw him out, but it just didn't last long. It didn't last long. And instead, she brought Johnny back and she kicked her husband out. Okay? So at this point, I believe that sends a real message to Johnny now. You can do what you like. You can do whatever you like. Mummy's going to have your back. All right? Now, was this guilt for not really being great when he was younger? I don't know. But the message was loud and clear to him. Mummy's going to back you up no matter what you do. Okay? So we get to 2002. All right? Now, at this point, Johnny is age 24 and he decides to change his name, okay? And he changes it to Pazuzu Algarad, okay? Now, Pazuzu, as I've had mentioned a couple of times, is a demon actually from the film The Exorcist, okay? And it's an ancient Babylonian demon who controlled the underworld, okay? And Algarad, I don't know where I've just made that up from. Algarad, I just said it completely backwards, means Lord of Locusts, which, given the fact he's not bathing, kind of, it suited him, even though that wouldn't have been why he was saying it, I would have thought. But he did say that not bathing kept spirits at bay. It's all very messed up. but that's the name he decided to change to. Okay. Now, from that name change, his physical appearance also changes. He shaves his head. He starts to get a lot of face tattoos. He starts to follow satanic teachings. He wanted to basically be the opposite of the community around him. It was like he was really kicking out at that community around him. He wanted no part of it. It was like they didn't want to have anything to do with him growing up. No, he didn't want anything to do with them, and he wanted to be the complete antithesis. Why am I trying to use a big word? The complete opposite of the community at large, basically. Now, what happened though with him looking this way and acting this way? He became fascinating to the youth of the community. You know, the kids that were rebelling against their parents, rebelling against the status quo of the area. It kind of sounds like the Footloose sort of theme, doesn't it? But much, much darker. And I don't know why I've said that. But basically, yeah, he's they're all sort of, they're just fascinated with this guy and they look up to him. And that to him was just, oh my God. You know, all the kids hated him when he was their age. Now he's older and he's looking crazy. They like him. They think he's interesting. They think, oh my God, they're looking up to him. And so basically then, he started wearing a taqiyya, which is an Islamic head covering. He never converted to Islam. He was just wearing it. And it was because, now remember I said this was 2002, after what had happened at 9/11, it was another way for him to scare the life out of this very straight-laced community, who at that moment in time thought anyone wearing a taqiyya or anyone looking slightly Middle Eastern must be, you know, it must be evil. You know, that it was that sort of mentality. And he played into that. Now, he also loved Charles Manson. He looked up to Charles Manson. Now, I don't know if you know the Manson family. Charles Manson. I haven't done that story, so I won't go too much into it. If you'd like me to do that, I can do that one too. But he looked up to Charles Manson. And he had a lot of tattoos on him. Tattoos on him were Satan, like sort of across his arm, Lucifer, villain, 666. You know, very kind of, I don't know, not very, I suppose his name was thought out, but the tattoos were a bit like, all right then, kind of thing, you know. But then he was on a meth binge, he'd filed down all his teeth into very sharp points. So you're starting to get an image of what this man now looked like, which is why I was so specific about what he'd looked like when he was younger. Only a few years beforehand even, he'd took a real drastic change in his appearance. Now, that's fine. I've no problem with that if that's the way you want to show creativity or, you know, show your personality. I'm not saying that. You're gonna know why I've got this disdain for this man very shortly. Okay. Now the family home. Okay, family home. My God. It was turning into a complete and utter hole. Now, I know I've spoken about houses in the past. I know I have. And I've called them holes. I have. They were palaces compared to this home. Now, it's all online. You can see it. It's vile. It's absolutely disgusting, this house is. I'll go more in depth into detail soon, but it was just, it was awful. It was awful, seedy, dark, disgusting hole, okay? Now, he invited people round to take drugs. Remember I said he'd started becoming sort of someone to look up to the misplaced, for all the kids who wanted to, you know, just rebel, the sort of, what's the words? I've completely lost the words. Disillusioned youth, let's say. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah, he invited all them round. He plays something called black heavy metal. I'm presuming it's really, really, really loud, quite angry music. I've never personally been into heavy metal. I don't mind soft metal. Never been into heavy metal. I think I've never gone past Metallica. Okay, it's not really for me, but of course, music I like wouldn't be for other people. So there's no judgment in that, but it was played at sort of ear bleeding volume 24 hours a day. I mean, that would drive you crazy. You just would. There was orgies, just orgies around the house. Like I say, this is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It was just become this party house, but a disgusting party house. Like, it was just filthy. Like I say, I've seen the pictures. People would defecate on the floor and just leave it there, just in corners or in wardrobes or just wherever they felt like it, while there was orgies going on sort of in the same room. It's like, oh my God, people, come on. There was fights all the time, glasses being smashed. It was just, it sounds my idea of hell. Anyway, even at that age, even if I was 18, 19, I just, no. And as time's going on, he's now got these dreads. He didn't bathe, so his dreads were just all filthy. He used to wrap metal wire into them. But again, he just looked so dirty. The house just stunk like a sewer. No one would clean the mess up, like I say. So the dogs would eat the feces off the floor. Oh God. And you might be like, oh my God, this is disgusting. Where's his mom? Where's his mom gone? Where's Cynthia? Where's Cynthia? Does she not pop round to see her son? Does she not see what he's living in? In fact, isn't that her home? Well, yes, you'd be right. Yes, it is. And Cynthia still lives there. Yes, she does. She lives there. She lives in that. And basically, you do see a picture of Cynthia's room, okay? And her bedroom looks perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. In this, I don't know. I don't think just by telling you I can put across how bad this house was. Graffiti all over the walls. Just, like I say, very dark and dingy, satanic. Pentagrams, is it? All around that. Oh, it was just so dark, so seedy. Just the stuff of nightmares. I've got to be honest. It's stuff of nightmares. It will give you bad dreams. Honestly, please go and have a look. Just horrific, okay? And for some reason, women seem to love Pazuzu. Seem to love him. Seem to flock to him. Now, not gonna lie, a couple of the girls, they don't look too clean themselves. Who am I to judge? But I'm just saying. But some of them, attractive girls, look clean. And it's just like, oh, why? What? He's admitted, he's proud that he doesn't bath. I mean, you see the bathroom, no one could bath in there. It's just, ugh. But why? Where's that appeal? What was the appeal to you? But apparently, he did have an appeal. But the people he surrounded himself with, now if you remember, I says they were just fresh out of high school. Okay, girls and lads. Okay, not many of them were around his age, so he could be quite manipulative, and manipulate them into thinking he was this cool guy. Oh, God, okay. So we get to July 2009 now. And there's a man called Joshua Wetzler. Okay, he's 37 years of age. All right. Now, in July 2009, Joshua goes missing. Okay. Now, Stacey Carter is Joshua's ex-girlfriend, and she hadn't seen him in a couple of months, but she thought he was avoiding his probation officer, so she didn't report him missing to the police. As I go on with the story, you might be like, why didn't she let anyone know beforehand? But that was why they broke up. They did have a son together, but she didn't want to basically drop him in it, so she was avoiding reporting him missing. Now, Joshua was a doting dad, okay? Him and Stacey really cared for each other. They really, really did, all right? They'd been living together. They were very happy. They'd bought themselves a small farm and a house on this farm. But the recession in 2007, 2008 hit them really, really hard. It really did. They lost their home. They lost their home. He began to sell drugs to make money. She was like, I can't have that. She leaves him. She needs to get her son away from that. And he just continues to spiral down. It's a really, really, really sad story. It really is in that sense. Because here you have this couple so in love, have this son, buy this farm. It looks like they're set. And then this recession hits like a brick. Don't even get me started on that one. But it was one thing after another, and it was one course of events that knocked on to the other. It's just very, very sad. So the last time she sees Joshua was at a barbecue in July of 2009. All right. And he seemed very happy. He was okay. And she was happy. He looked like he was on the up and up, and like I say, they were still very close. But he'd got into some legal issues through selling. He was selling weed. It wasn't hard drugs, but he was selling weed. That's why she'd had to separate herself. But he looked like he was doing okay. But then she doesn't see him again. And like I say, she starts to worry, but she's like, what do I do? What do I do? I could be dropping him in it. And she waits and she waits. What had actually happened is Joshua had actually met Pazuzu. He'd actually met him by this point, okay? Now, no good's ever going to come from meeting Pazuzu, okay? Especially if you're 37, okay? He's used to having young ones around him who he can manipulate, who he can get to do what he wants to do. A 37-year-old man, he's going to find it a bit harder to manipulate. So around this time, on a crazy night, Pazuzu stands in front of all his friends, who at this point he's now calling followers. Remember Charles Manson? He's now calling them all his followers, all right? And he says he's got a man in the basement, and if you see him, don't let him out. Now, don't forget all these young ones, and, they're all on quite hard drugs, like music, alcohol. They sort of look at him, they roll their eyes. Even the young ones are a bit like, okay, all right. Don't think they really took him seriously, okay? But they then learn that he'd starved and tortured the man for days in his basement while they were there. Now, they're still not 100% sure if it's true, but Pazuzu really starts going into some real detail, and others start to go, yeah, it's true. And basically comes out that he tortured this man for days, obviously starved him, like I said. He then cut off his arms and his legs and his penis and then shot him. Okay? Pazuzu then says he's covered him in cat litter and bleach to stop the smell. Stop the smell of this man in the basement. To stop the smell, really. Really, anyone's going to notice it anyway. But, yeah, apparently he'd done that to stop the smell. Oh, God, no reasons ever given. No reasons ever given in this, but it was said then that he'd buried this man in the garden. Alright? No one actually had, an alibi, not an alibi, sorry, a motive that could be given for it. And that's why I think they all were like, did he, has he? But over the next few days, he's wearing a bandana around his head, Pazuzu is, that's got blood on it. That bandana actually belonged to Joshua. Alright. We then get to the 3rd of August 2009. This story is going to frustrate you. I'm going to start going through some dates now. You're going to start getting a bit frustrated. Please bear with me. 3rd of August 2009. Pazuzu's neighbour, who'd heard these rumours, alright, she actually says, there is a documentary, I've watched many things on this story, but there's a documentary from Vice that's called The Devil You Know. Now, there's a girl on there who basically says that her dad, Pazuzu wouldn't come on, they're Pazuzu's neighbour, he comes knocking on their house the one evening, her dad goes out with him, Pazuzu. Her dad comes back quite late, covered head to toe in dirt. And she hears that her dad has just helped him bury someone in the back garden. Okay. So she can't live with that. She starts to feel guilty herself. She wasn't there, she didn't hear it, but she's like, I can't live with this. So she goes to the police. Okay. Now, the police say they'll investigate, but don't forget, she's quite young. It obviously sounds quite far-fetched. This is a very, remember me saying, conservative town. There's not a lot of crime there. And I don't think they really took her seriously. They do go to Pazuzu's house. I'm not even going to call it his mum's house anymore. It's obviously he claimed it. They knock on. And they say, have you got a body in the garden? And he says, no, officer, I haven't. I'm like, oh, okay. And they leave. Now, I'm not saying, what's the words I'm looking for? I'm not saying that word for word, but I'm paraphrasing. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm paraphrasing. But that's pretty much what happened, okay? September 2009, there's an anonymous caller into the police saying someone has been shot and buried in Pazuzu's garden. Can you go round and look? They go round, just have a look, quick gander outside. Don't say anything. They leave. Okay. October 2009. We come up with it to a lad called Tommy Dean Welsh. Okay. Now, Tommy, lovely bloke. Alright. He's out on a walk. He said he's gone for a walk. He was going to have pizza and a movie night with his mum. And he's gone to walk to get this pizza. Okay. He never comes home. He never comes back. Okay. And They don't know what happened for 5 years to Tommy. And Stacey doesn't know what's happened to Joshua for 5 years. My God. In between that time, now don't forget Tommy family's losing their mind. Stacey, she's got a young son. To Joshua, she's like, someone's got to help me. You know, no one knows if this is true about what's happened to Pazuzu's. Tommy's family, they don't know anything about Pazuzu. They don't know what's gone on with Tommy. They just know he just dropped off the face of the planet. Now, in between those 5 years, there's a girl who's round at Pazuzu's. I'm not throwing names at you. You know, if you want to look at the documentary, you can. They're just different people who were at the house, but I don't want to throw a load of names at you. It can get quite confusing. So there's just this girl who happened to be yet another person going round to the house. And she actually comes out and asks him, you know, and his friends, you know, I've heard he's killed somebody. And they were laughing. They were like, yeah, buried out in the garden. Like, laughing about it, joking about it. She's actually recording it because she'd heard this. She takes the recording to the police. They don't do anything. Don't do anything. It said that possibly it was because the people were being recorded without their consent. And in that particular state, that's not admissible in court. So it said that could be the reason. They don't believe her. She had a little bit of a checkered past herself. So is that the reason they didn't believe her? But they didn't do anything. Didn't believe. And just nothing was done. Now, that girl I've just mentioned, she goes and tells Stacey. Now, how she knew about Stacey was she had a friend who knew Stacey. It's a very small town, remember I said. And this friend says to her, she goes, my pal's ex-boyfriend's missing. And she heard about that. Come and speak to her. So she goes to Stacey and she goes, listen to this. I think it's your ex-boyfriend. I think it's the kid's dad. I think he could be buried in the back garden. So we get to February 2010, all right? It would appear that the police are taking it seriously and they do get a warrant for the house. They still don't find anything. It said that they didn't have the technology to be able to tell that there was a body under the ground. The cadaver dogs didn't pick up anything. So they're disgusted by the state of the house. But you can't really charge somebody because the house is disgusting. So they leave. And even if they'd have picked up on it then, this next bit wouldn't have happened. So a lad called Joseph Chandler, age 30, all right? Pazuzu and his follower, okay, Nicholas Rizzi, who's 20 years old. They coerced Joseph to get in the car with them, okay? They don't really know him. They're not friends. But they coerced him to get in the car and go for a drive with them because don't forget, small town, everyone knows of everyone, even if you're not friends with that person or anything else. You know of them, all right? So he gets in the car with them, they go for a drive, they end up at a park. And while Joseph is literally just stood at a lake, Nicholas goes to shoot him in the back. And the gun catches. Now, Joseph hasn't realised this was happening behind him. So Nicholas runs to the car, comes back with another gun, and Joseph's lit up a cigarette. And before he even finishes that cigarette, they shoot and kill him. They murder him while Pazuzu stood there watching. Oh, God. This is where you're really going to be sickened, because they're arrested, Pazuzu and Nicholas, and you might think, right, okay, it's all gonna tie in now. No. Although they're arrested, they claim it was self-defense. That's what they make the claim it was. Pazuzu, okay, is charged with involuntary manslaughter after the fact. All right, he gets 0 time. 0, nothing. Nicholas Rizzi, who admittedly he was him that shot Joseph, he gets found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. He does 13 months. 13 months for killing somebody. I don't get it. So Pazuzu at this point, he obviously thinks he's untouchable. He's untouchable now, this guy is. He rules his house. He's got his followers. He believes he's a demon. You know, he believes he's just, just disgusting, man. Okay, over the next 4 years, he continues with this following. Don't forget, this was 2010, this was. And over the next 4 years, yeah, he's got this following. There's a new girl on the scene called Dixie, but he has got 2 other girls, Amber Birch and Crystal Matlock. These 2 girls have been his girlfriends for years, and Dixie becomes his new girlfriends. But you want to know what he calls them? He calls them his fiancés. Fiancés. Just like the Manson family. He's not even original. He's not even original. Oh, God. But yeah, these girls are all under 25. They're very young. But you say under 25, like that's like a preteen. You're a grown adult at 25. That's who you are. So I'm not having that. But they were younger than him. We'll just say that. Okay, he treated his mum disgusting. He was always belting his mum. You know, she just let him get away with it. She just, you know, I think about his mum walking in this house. Like I say, if you want to go and have a look after, please do, because I can't. My description of it isn't going to do this justice. And just the thought of his mum walking through this whole, I mean, one of the rooms was just up to there with just filth and rubbish and broken furniture everywhere, and just, like I say, graffiti and drawing and everything. Just awful. And just the thought of her walking in from work, going in, stepping over people having orgies on the floor, and stepping over human waste, and just like, it's all right, guys, don't bother me, don't mind me, I'm just coming back from work, and then just goes to her bedroom and closes the door like it's not going on. How did she sleep? Like, just in the logistics of it, how did you sleep with that smell and that noise? Not just all the people, but the music. How did she function? I mean, it says that she did drink a lot when he was younger. I'm presuming maybe that carried on. Did she just drink herself into such a stupor until she woke up in the morning? I don't know. I don't know what this woman was thinking. I just don't. But we get to the 5th of August, 2014, okay? And the police come round again, okay? And finally, they are taking it seriously, okay? There's another friend that's gone to the police and he'd had enough, and he goes round, but because he's an army veteran, they take him a bit more seriously. He hasn't got that history that the other people coming forward had. that they could just be dismissed as they're druggies, just take the notice, just let them all go over there. It's like these kids that were in this house, as long as they weren't bothering the community, as in the families within the community, it was like they could do what they wanted to do, just leave them over there. And this guy, because he was an army veteran and they had obviously a bit more respect for him, whether it's because he was a male coming forward as well and the other people coming forward were female, I don't know. It could have been. But they took him seriously. Okay? So they come round and I don't forget, it's been 4 years since they were last in the house. And I've seen the GoPros, you know, their cams on them. It's horrific. It's so bad. They had to put on biohazard suits just to walk through the house. Okay. And when they go out into the garden, they notice that there's a pool out there. It possibly could have been a beautiful garden each time. The house looked like, I mean, you see the neighbours' houses. The house looks like it was possibly a beautiful house each time. And there was an empty pool out there. And the garden was all sort of dug up and stuff, but a lot of sort of sections of the garden that were raised. So when they go out there, which is a bit annoying from when 4 years previous, when they were like, well, we didn't have the stuff to sort of know if there was a body out there. They didn't have to really look for long. They really didn't. And they began digging sort of off where the pool is in the middle. It's just sort of, I mean, when I say this garden, it's just mud. It's just mud. You've got a pool in the middle, it's just mud all around the outside, hard mud. And then here it's just kind of lifted. And just in a very, very shallow grave, they find a skull. And they find bones that have just, it's quite obviously the skeleton of somebody who's been buried there in pieces, though. Do you remember when he stood there saying, yeah, we cut his arms off, we cut his legs off, we cut his penis off? Yeah. Then, as they're digging, they find another skeleton. And these are the bodies of Joshua and Tommy. And that's what I mean. If they'd have just took it more seriously, maybe it could have helped Tommy. There was only a month in between the two, so maybe, I don't know. But they definitely could have saved Joseph Chandler. Definitely could have saved him. That had just took it a little bit more seriously, a lot more seriously. And their causes of death were gunshot wounds. Joshua actually had 8 gunshot wounds to the head and the torso. Tommy, gunshot wounds to the head and torso. It was actually, they arrested Pazuzu, Amber and Crystal. All 3 were charged with murder. It was said that it was actually Amber that had shot Tommy on Pazuzu's say-so. Tommy was sat on the sofa and she walked behind him and shot him in the head. Pazuzu, with regards to Joshua, had been starving him in the basement and torturing him. But again, it wasn't him that killed him. It was one of the girls. He didn't do it. It's like he never done his own dirty work. He never done it himself. Who's that remind you of? I mentioned the Manson family many times in this story. I don't know how he had the power over these guys. I don't know. But, yes, the house, very soon after everyone had been ripped out of the house, the mum, she was told, you either clean up the house or it gets demolished. This is really quickly as well, because it was in such a bad way. It was condemned. She didn't clean it up, so the house was demolished. And you see all the neighbours sat out with deck chairs, and look, hot dogs, celebrating that this house has been demolished, and just that was rid from the neighbourhood. You know, they all knew it was bad. They'd all heard there was bodies in the back garden, but no one knew whether it was true, because the police were coming and just leaving. So no one knew if this was a fact or not. They'd all heard it. So, yes, the mum, Cynthia, she knew about the murders. She actually admits that she walked out and saw Tommy, I think it was, on the floor. And she called Pazuzu into another room. And apparently, when she came back out of the room, she just goes, right, I'm going to work. And practically stepped over the body of this young man and went to work. She knew. It's crazy. So Crystal is found guilty of second-degree murder after the fact. She's sentenced to 3 years and 10 months. She was actually released in 2018. Amber, obviously the one who actually shot Tommy, she was found guilty. She got 30 to 40 years. She's still in prison. And then we get to October the 28th, 2015. Okay, and you might be like, okay, here's Pazuzu. What did he get found guilty with? What was he charged? Well, we didn't get that far, because the coward that he was, do you remember I mentioned he'd fold all his teeth down? He bit into his own arm, and he actually hit an artery, and he died. He actually killed himself rather than face up to what he'd done. So, something Charles Manson never done, eh? And that was it. That was it. I knew the end of the story. I was going to get to this point, but now I'm like, that's it. Okay, you might have a bit of justice with the girls, but the lad I've just spent all this time talking about, there's nothing. He just got out of it. Utter coward. Stacey Carter, obviously, Joshua's ex-girlfriend. She seems like such a lovely woman as well. She's on the documentary. She genuinely does. She seems like a really, really kind-hearted girl, which makes me think that Joshua also would have been a very kind-hearted man. She runs like an equine facility. Horses. I don't know how to pronounce it right, so it's horses. She runs a facility, and it's helping people struggling with like their mental health. Obviously looking after their son, and she just looks, I mean, it's so sad, because you can see even when she's talking about him, you know, it's been 15 years since she last seen him. She said she was happy when she knew that he was in the garden, he'd been taken out. She was happy that he'd been taken out of that sort of just toxic, vile, disgusting place, so he could be buried and laid to rest. So, you know, she did say that, but it was so sad, because she was looking through the the autopsy again, and she was like, you know, when she was saying how he'd been shot 8 times, and she does break, she does start to get quite upset, and quite understandably, and you know, she just seems like such a lovely person. Now, of course, it's a documentary. How do you, she? I'm just saying what she seemed lovely. But yeah, and that Crystal, like I say, got released in 2018. She got released 6 years ago. She done a year. She done a year in prison. The mum, nothing happened to her. Nothing. She knew all about it. She encourages. Now, I mentioned at the beginning my thoughts on that, and how it had started off, the you know, with the mum and bringing men in. Like, I don't know if something happened at that point, because it just seems to me, when I've been researching this, and I have known about this for quite a while, it fascinated me when I was in the house. And as much as I'm disgusted by it, it fascinated me, and everything about it, and how dark and seedy, and it was like, it really interested me. But I can't get my head around that switch in Johnny to turning into Pazuzu. And it seems 8 is a real, it seems like that's the tipping point. And obviously that's when his parents got divorced, but a lot of kids' parents get divorced. Was it his mum going off the rails and drinking? Was it the men being brought into the home? That's what I look at. Did something happen then? I don't know. I genuinely don't. I've looked everywhere to see if anyone can say what caused that switch in him. But because he never gave a motive, he obviously had a hatred for his mum. We know he's putting his hands on her for a long time. But I can't help thinking, was it something to do with that? But I don't know. So, yeah, that was the unsettling story of Pazuzu Algarad. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. If you'd like to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/JessRose5472. Thank you so much again for joining me. If you like, comment and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Or just come and join us on the live. That would be great too. So thank you all so much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Right, how are we all doing in there? Oh, where are we? Tiff, why do you make me feel like I've got special... What? How have we been doing in there? Have we even been listening? Did we even listen? Was we even... Hi, Sharon. How are we doing? No. Oh, yeah, you are. You are. Was they buried in... Oh, do you know, I'm so glad I missed that, Warwick. Because you're special educator. Right, okay. I'm glad you were all listening. Glad that. Excellent. How are we all, anyway? How are we? Look at me. Look. I thought it was... Go and have a look at the house. You might be more interested then. If you can see the guy's house. You might be more interested then. He's a terrible... How are we all anyway? What's going on? Don't all go quiet now. Don't all go quiet now. Look. What, now that I can see us? Don't all go quiet now. No, yeah. I've seen Sharon. How you doing, Sharon? Are you okay? Oh God. Warwick, I couldn't see any of those comments, and I'm really glad. I'm really glad yous are terrible. Oh, so yous were listening. Yous were listening. All right, I'll let yous off. I'll let yous off. I'll let you off because it did. Top of the world, Jess. Oh, thank you, Phil. Those comments only just come. Oh, okay, sis. No, do you know what it was? I've just worked up. I can't see them. I turned them off, hadn't I, from when I was going to do the screen record. And then when I turned them on, I was like, oh, okay, marvellous. But no, I can see that yous were listening. I'll let yous off. I'll let yous off. But wasn't it vile, though? Just vile. I just don't know what I make of... And his mum, just the whole thing, just... Ugh. But please go and have a look at the house. I need somebody else to go and look at the house and see what I mean. It's just awful. Just awful house. Like, what happened there is bad enough, but when you see the house, it's just like, oh, house is bad enough, but what happened there was awful. Maybe the other way around, I mean it the other way around, but just please go and have a look at the house anyway. So, my legs are so stiff now. God, I've kept this for ages. I'm so sorry. But did we all decide what we were doing the weekend? Anyway, oh, my finger's in the screen again. He's not easy. I think he said he was listening to the story. Top of the world, Jess. What do you mean, top of the world? What did I say? What did I say? I'm so glad I weren't, unless you weren't talking to me. I need to look at the comments tomorrow. Look at me jumping in at the end, and I don't know. All right, fair enough, Claire. That's a deal. Is he stirring the pot? Is that what he's doing? He's so naughty. See, I don't know. I've joined into this at the very end, so I don't know what's going on. So I need to look at the comments tomorrow. Look at this. I don't know what this is. Yeah, Phil, yes, it's, I'm presuming it's, oh, Phil, I'm sorry. Oh, for God's sake, Jessica. I'm sorry. Do you know, they do describe it a lot in the documentary, though, Phil. They do. It's called, oh, God, not Talk of the Devil. The Devil I Know. The Devil You Know. Oh, for God's sake. I only said it the other day, didn't I? It's called The Devil You Know. I'm thinking it should be on Netflix, Phil. And it's by Voice. But YouTube, it's on YouTube as well. If you put in, I'm not the best at speaking, Tiffany. I know. If you put in Pazuzu Algarad, if you put that in, it should be on there. I think I saw it earlier on today. I didn't watch it on YouTube, but I watched it. Obviously, I watched the documentary. But if you can't find that, it is on YouTube as well. It's not. I don't think it's the. It might be the same one. I don't know. I just know the one I watched. There's probably about 4 or 5 parts to it. About 40 minutes long. But I think the YouTube one will probably it'll tell you all the same details as well, but it can describe it a lot better than I can. But yes, awful. And yes, Claire, I will do that. That's a deal. You have to go and look now. You have to. Because it's just, I need somebody to know. It's just horrific. It's just awful. But on that note, because I've rambled for so long to know it, I really have. I might let you all go because I wasn't expecting to be as long a story, but I think I interjected my own opinions in it a lot and it just went on a lot longer, so I am sorry. There we go, deal, Claire. There we go. Did you? I don't like Chinese though. I'm not a fan. Well, I like the curry sauce, chips and prawn crackers. So I get told that doesn't even class as a Chinese though. I get told that's not even what that is. It's just curry sauce and chips. But I've got to admit, I've gone off it lately because I can't find one that's got a real kick to it. Like, it's just kind of like soup lately. Oh, did you? See, there you go. There you go. See, I get stick for that, I do. I like the balls as well, chicken balls. I like chicken balls as well. They're quite nice. But other than that, no. I'm not a massive fan of any of the other stuff. I've tried it all, but I'm just not a massive seaweed. Seaweed. I can deal with that as well. Look at me. I'm gonna go start getting hungry now. I've been confused all my life. Get used to it. Why? Who's confused? Dude, I am. No, he said he's. Oh, right, okay. You don't like the chicken balls? Oh, I love them. They're nice, they are. They're all right, but you have to use the curry sauce. You have to. I'm hungry now. I'm getting really hungry now, but I don't know what I want. And it's not Chinese though. I'm not feeling that. That's not even discussing it isn't doing it for me. So yeah, no, I'm not. I've never been a big one. I've never been a big fan. But Singapore chow mein. I haven't. No, I can't even say I've tried it. I'm just. Yeah, no. But I ate that much. That's the problem as well. It leaves you feeling a bit like, just like that, doesn't it? It's just like ugh. But it's nice. But yeah, it's few and far between for me. I'm much chicken chow mein. As long as it doesn't have prawns in it. Yuck. Yeah, I don't eat any fish whatsoever. At all. I'm terrible. None. Not even a fish and chips from the chip shop. I don't like any. Don't like tuna. Don't like salmon. Just never. Ugh. No, it's any fish. So I'm with you there, Claire. Don't do it. And prawns. Ugh. I tried squid once. Not on purpose. I thought it was a chip. I thought it was chips. It was in like a shape of a chip. And I beat it and someone goes, that was squid. Oh, God. Bad day. Bad day. Special chop suey with fried. Special chop suey with fried rice. I don't know. But see, you're naming Chinese dishes. I don't know them. I don't know them. I'm terrible. The only one I've heard of is a chicken chow mein. That's the only one. Oh, God. I was going to say, Tiffany, you're opening up a door there. Yeah, no. The squid was just horrific. It was chewy. It was awful. It made me very ill. I was very ill afterwards because I was very... I'd had a lot of alcohol that night, and that's why I confused it with a chip. It was a bad day. It was a whole bad day. Right, but I'm going to do the jingle now. I'm going to do the jingle because my legs have all got... I'm not sitting still, and my mum, if she does look in, she's going to be like, sit still. You're moving all over the camera. So I'm going to do the jingle because it's jingle time. It's jingle time. Right, I'm not 100% sure of who's in. I'm not 100% sure of who's in, but thank you to Tiffany and Hayley and Warwick and Phil and Claire. And I did see Sharon, Jessica, and I think that's it. Hayley. My God, sorry, Hayley, my other moderator extraordinaire. Sorry, lovely. So yeah, so anyone watching now, if you could go in after and drop a comment, I'd really appreciate it. Or if you forget to do that, if you wait for the other one of this to be uploaded, you could go in and put a comment there, like Hayley did the other night. Really appreciate that too. Or a like or anything, I'd really appreciate it. If you want to join my page, have I said my Patreon? Patreon.com/JessRose4472. I think I just done that, didn't I? Or you could just look, comment and subscribe, guys. Look, comment and subscribe, guys. Look, comment and subscribe, guys. I got very emotional then. I don't know what happened. Voice broke and everything. I don't know what happened. Like, comment and subscribe, guys. But yeah, if you could like, comment and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And I want you all to have a fantastic weekend. I'm obviously back next Tuesday. I'll let you know what story I'm doing for you then. I've got to stop doing this. I don't know what this is. But yeah, have a fabulous weekend, guys. And I did say goodbye to everyone, didn't I? I said try to Sharon. But yes, and Jerome, I don't know if he's still here, but and Jerome. Sorry, Jerome. And yeah, thank you all for joining me. No one's speaking, so have you all already gone? No, you haven't. I'm going. I'm going. Thank you all so much. Please, please, please drop a like on. I'd really appreciate it. But I'm gonna go and okay. I thought you had all gone. I was like, I'm talking to myself. They've all gone. I should just look at the number at the top, shouldn't I? Right, okay. I'll see you all on next Tuesday. Like I said, I don't know what story I'm doing just yet. I've been given another request by Hayley, so that might be the one, but I'll let you know. So yes, I'll see you all soon. Take care, guys. Bye. Look, comments.